Welcome to 1 Minute Crypto. I'm your host Kronos, and today I want to make a case that a big blockchain is bad for everyone. There's a debate going on right now in the Bitcoin Cash community saying it doesn't matter how big the blockchain gets because we're not going to run full nodes anyway. Let's leave that to the payment processors, to the miners, etc. A full node is a machine that processes every transaction that goes by on the network and makes sure everything is valid. And the typical Bitcoin Cash user doesn't need to do that. They just run a light wallet that trusts that the network is validating itself, and they just handle their own transactions. So I'm going to argue in this video that even if you're just running a light wallet, it's still worse if the blockchain you love is getting bloated, large, and takes a lot of resources to process. Before we get into that, I want to thank our sponsor. This episode is proudly sponsored by KeepKey, a USB hardware wallet for keeping your cryptocurrency offline and safe. These guys have an affiliate program where you can earn $10 for every customer you refer. Take a look at keepkey.com. So the idea that I want to bring forward here is the concept that expenses trickle down through an economy. Imagine a market for bananas. If you have a certain amount of price you pay for bananas and suddenly bananas cost more, they require certain fertilizer or pesticide or something, you might say, oh, they're going to cost the same because I'm just paying for bananas from someone else. Well, no, wherever they're coming from, those costs get passed down the line because these businesses up the chain have costs and they're not going to operate at a loss. In the same way, let's say there's a merchant out there that's selling products and they're accepting Bitcoin Cash in exchange for that. If they're running a full node that takes a lot of resources, that's a cost to that merchant. And so that's a cost that's going to get passed down to you in the same way that a banana producer, if it costs them more to produce bananas, it's going to cost you more to buy bananas. If a merchant has higher cost in processing Bitcoin Cash, it's going to cost you more to use Bitcoin Cash. Now, merchants may be able to aggregate their costs into a payment processor. There's companies like BitPay or Coinbase that offer the ability for merchants to accept cryptocurrencies without running their own full nodes. And so that moves the costs up a layer, but it does not take them away. I would argue that no matter who is running the full node, that is a cost. And the more expensive that is, the more that cost will trickle down to the average user. So even if you never plan to run a full node yourself, it's still a bad thing for the blockchain to require a huge amount of resources to process. And so that's something to keep in mind when you're arguing on this topic. Don't just assume that someone else is paying that cost so it doesn't affect you. In the end, we're all in this together. I'm Kronos. Thanks for watching.